we're going to be going farther up the wall or not later on. We just put that in last year. And now we're on the infield, folks.
Here we go.
To the right is the entrance of turn 1. And we're headed toward turn 2. Now that's 31 degrees of banking out there on the right-hand side. It's 2,600 feet from the entrance of turn 1 to the exit of turn 2. Turns 3 and 4 down at the opposite end of the speedway are identical. Now if you were to walk a straight line between the center of this turn, walk down at turns 3 and 4, the straight line distance is 1 mile. 1 lap per. 1 lap around the speedway for the Sprint Cup cars, 2.5 miles. Well, if you look at the bottom of that bag, you can see that solid double yellow line out there. Look toward the top of the track, you see that white dash line. Now the distance between those two lines is only about 30 feet. Yet the Sprint Cup drivers will come through on race day 3 wide at over 190 miles an hour. Now sometimes they come through here 4 wide. Sometimes that works. Most of the time it doesn't. At least one of those drivers ends up into that outside retaining wall. Lucky for those drivers, in 2004 we installed the SAFER barrier in Speedway. Now SAFER stands for Steel and Foam Energy Reduction. That's SAF, steel tubing. In fact, end to end, there's almost 9 miles of that tubing around the Speedway. Behind that steel tubing is a section of styrofoam blocks. That's just regular styrofoam, the same kind you see in those little packaging peanuts and in coffee cups. Now the outside portion of that wall, that's concrete. Now should have drove to the Speedway, you need a place that had 2 things. 1, a place with the size to put the 2.5 mile track, and acres in size. But in 2004, we did a major reconstruction project here on the infield. We actually filled Lake Lud in by about 1/3. Lake Lud is now 29 acres. In its place, there's a competition, Robin Pepperton, he's the rule maker, so he's always in here. They go over the rules of Daytona. Daytona being a super speedway, there's 2 specific rules here. One is, you saw that solid double yellow line at the bottom of the track. Believe it or not, it's illegal to make a pass below that yellow line. You can't forcibly go down and make a pass and get back in. That's a penalty, believe it or not. The other is you go over the speed limit here on pit road. The speed limit on pit road during Daytona 500 is 55 miles an hour, believe it or not. You got to slow down from 190 coming out of the corner down to 55 to down pit road.
That's amazing.
If you get caught speeding, the penalty for a pit road violation it means you have to go around the speedway and come back, do the entire length of pit road. Victory Lane, how many chances do you get to win Victory Lane? And stand on the podium. Think about it. Poles. Now there are 202 of those light poles around the outside of the speedway. Each one of those light poles has between 4 and 12 1250 watt light bulbs.
Wow.
Also on the left hand side, just inside that white guardrail, you'll see a series of light boxes. Now there are 280 of those light boxes around the infield speedway. Each one of those light boxes has a 2,000 watt light bulb. Now the system was designed by Musco Lighting of Iowa, and is designed in such a way that should a driver spin out during one of our nighttime racing events and find him or herself, it reflects the power and brightness of that 2,000 watt bulb. Still plenty bright, but not blinding to the drivers should they find themselves staring directly into it. This is the largest outdoor sports lighting display in North America at a cost of over $5 million. Of course, that was $1998. If you only had $5 million to put lights around the speedway today, you probably wouldn't get very far. What's more, going through the tunnel, folks, look at the pictures on either side. There's one picture I want to draw your attention to. That'll be the first picture on the left-hand side as we go toward the front of the tunnel. And that's coming up on the left-hand side as we pass Mario Andretti. There's a picture I want to show you, folks. That picture right there, left-hand side. is the last lap of the first Daytona 500 on February 22nd, 1959. Take a look at that picture. There's a little story behind that picture, I'll tell you when we get into the tower.
Comes.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Makes it easier to see everybody.
What do you think, folks?
Impressive.
Actually, better than Sweets. This is a work area. This is the Houston Line press box. This is where the print media sits during the race. Most of the major newspapers in the world send representatives over here. You see that little workstation they can set up. They can plug in their laptops, telephones. Listen to different channels around the Speedway, about what's going on.
Then you have for the one car, he's off of...
And we got spotters in here today too, by the way, so you'll hear us talking. We'll try to keep it a little low if we can, okay? Now just to the left of us is MRN radio broadcast booth. As we do the radio broadcast. The center section is the Nascar football field because of that. So if you ever hear anyone refer to the football field at Daytona International Speedway, that's the area they're talking about. Does anyone have any questions about anything you see out there that I'm going to talk about? Any questions at all about anything about the Speedway?
How far around was that track?
This track is 2.5 miles. 2.5 miles, yeah. Now, when I use the infield portion, it's 3.56. The cars will use almost the entire 2.5 miles of the Speedway. But just the end of pit road is where they enter into the infield road course. You see how that road, Johnny Beauchamp, he was also on the last lap going for the win. So actually only 2 of those 3 cars are going for the win. But unfortunately, at the time, we didn't have automatic scoring. There were people that were responsible for watching the cars, keeping track of all the cars out there. When those 3 cars crossed the finish line, that top car, first of all, it blocked the camera view. So when the picture was taken, all you saw was the side of that car. You didn't see the other 2 cars. Also, the scorers got blocked from view because of that top car. So even though those 3 cars crossed the finish line at the same time, that top car blocked the view of everyone, of the other 2 cars, so no one knew who won. Big controversy erupted out there. Lee Petty claimed he won the race.